What is up? Hey,
What's
this is John
going
Kitchens,
on?
and this is episode 76 of Expert Mentors Live. Super excited for today's episode. We've got the one and only Mr. Nick Krem on with us. We're going to talk about something that I know is super hot and definitely on a lot of your radars. We're going to talk about creating content for you and for your business. If you guys have questions, throw them in the Q&A, throw them in the chat. We'll handle all of those for you. But man, Nick, say hello to the Honey Badger Nation.
What's going on, Honey Badger Nation? Thanks for having me on, John. I'm super excited. I've been keeping up with a lot of the episodes you guys have going on here, and there's a lot of content, a lot of valuable stuff in here. So no, I'm super excited to add to it too.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for you. And I know it's going to be, I have a feeling that this is going to be probably an instant classic. So I really want to, I want to jump in, but first, I know I have a strong feeling, our Honey Badger Nation is growing month over month over month. It's crazy. So I know a lot are newly getting this. This might be their first exposure to Expert Mentors Live. And so
Right.
I want to take a second and explain what Expert Mentors Live is about. And it was born out of, hey, we have a ton of talent in this group. So how do we tap into the power of this group? And so that's where Expert Mentors Live was born from, and really a way to leverage the power of this community for all of us to benefit with this live weekly training, 76 episodes strong and counting. And so we go live every Wednesday at noon Central. So make sure you just add it to your calendar like clockwork. It's just something that you don't miss. You leverage, you get it out to anybody that you want to jump on these live trainings. So Nick, I appreciate that. I wanted to kind of share with everybody, but man, I'm excited. We've got a ton of stuff to dive into. So Let's get after it.
Yeah, let's definitely get after it. So like you said, yeah, dude, I'm really excited to come on here. And what we really want to talk about today is what is content, start diving into different ways you can utilize it, not just for your business, but building your personal brand. And nowadays, those really go hand in hand. So just a little bit about myself and how I kind of came into this whole content world was I kind of stumbled upon it, to be honest. So when I was working at a call center, I was managing a lot of our client relations. And the one biggest differentiating factor that I noticed was the clients that I was working with hand in hand that already had a personal brand, that were curating content, they were exponentially outproducing a lot of the other clients that we had. And a big reason for it was people already know, liked, and trusted them before they even walked in the door. These people never met them in their life. But I'll tell you what, when you start shooting video and you start putting yourself out there, people start to really know who you are. And that's where we started realizing the power of personal brand. We started working with video texting, video emailing with a lot of our clients. That's where we started coming up with a lot of systems and processes and started really getting into this content world. Fast forward a little bit, we started working with Jay and Al. Actually, my partner and I was seeing what my partner was doing. I'm like, man, that's really cool. So we started brainstorming and coming up with little things.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then we started really diving into it. And then we got our own company now. And we're working with content. So what I really want to focus on today is what is content and how you can really use it for your business. And then just a little sneak peek at what we're going to get into. We're going to get into how you can create 30 days of content in one day. I know it seems crazy. I know it seems like there's no way you could pack it in. But when you have the right, as you guys know, as NAE is really perfected, when you have the right systems, the right processes, and it's proven and repeatable, you can really do anything. So 30 days in content in one day is what we're going to get to here. So,
Awesome.
So what we want to start with is just really what is content. And chances are everybody out here is probably creating it without even noticing it. Mm-hmm. So what is content? That last Facebook post that you just posted, that's a piece of content. The last blog that you just wrote, that's a piece of content. The videos you create, the pictures you put out there, everything, whether you know it or like it or not, is part of that whole content world. So a lot of times you're posting on social media, whether you know it or not, that is your personal brand. That's how people see you. And there's kind of like, there's a perceived notion of who you are before they even meet you. So that's why it's very important to control that perceived notion of who you are, and even more so to be producing content. Because I think there's this big limiting belief where if you aren't doing content right now, or there's not a lot of agents in my marketplace, so I don't have to get to it yet. But chances are there are a couple realtors that are already doing it, and it's growing and growing and growing. What's happening right now is they're gaining the audience. They're already gaining the audience. They're gaining people who already know, like, and trust them. So when you're reaching out, doing your phone calls, you're doing your text messages, door knocking, any way that you guys are doing to create business, heck, even getting leads, you're already a couple steps behind because they already know a realtor. Whether it's through a family member or just through online, they already knew a realtor because of all the content they're producing. So I think that's one of the biggest ways that content can be misconceived is not everybody's doing it yet, so I'll get to it later. But chances are right now there's a couple realtors in your marketplace that are really taking advantage of this content, right?
Nick, take a second real quick and define what is good content versus bad content, right? And yeah, I mean, just kind of define that.
So that's a great question, and that can really be defined. And we got into detail with that. When we were working with different realtors, we were working with Al and all these guys. So we came up with the community champ versus the community chump. So that is like our good content versus bad content, right? So we named it. We came down to like, what is that person that does it? So the community chump. So this is somebody bad content. If you're only ever talking about all the homes you sell, if you're only ever talking about all these open houses you're doing, if you're out there and it's all about you, all these awards you're winning, I'm not saying not to post these things, but if your content is now all about you, you're not adding any value, that's what the community chump is. So if you're out there, you're posting about yourself, you're only worried about what your end result is, that's what's going to start happening, and they're going to start realizing that because you're not entertaining them, you're not keeping them in the loop. You're just worried about, hey, look, I sold another home. Again, I'm not saying not to post it, but if every single one of your posts is about either awards you just won, all about you, people aren't going to start tuning in.
Nobody cares about that, right?
Nobody really cares about it. At the end of the day, everybody has this voice in their head. It's what's in it for me, right? There's always that little voice. And if your videos are about every home you sold, check out this new award, eventually I'm going to stop tuning in. And I'm going to start tuning into community champs. So what the community champ, the main question they ask themselves before they start doing a video, a post, or anything with content is, am I adding value to my community? And your community can be a wide array of things, right? So for me, a lot of the times when I'm shooting content, I'm helping realtors shoot content. My community is realtors. So those are the group of people that I'm trying to add value to. What we have to get at, which we're going to have a couple tools here in a second, is understanding who is your community. You have to understand who your community is before you understand how am I going to add value to them.
I know you're going to get to it. I want to be, because this is, I get hit with it. I'm sure you do all the time is, hey, I need to continue to grow my real estate business, but also, man, I want to recruit agents. So who's my community? Is it the homeowner? And it's like, oh, and then some people want to throw buyers in there, and then they're like, okay, but I want to also attract and recruit agents. So like, is this all my community? So, I mean, definitely speak to that as well. And you can, as we go through that process.
No, and that is a great question. And it's something we get asked all the time too. It's like, where are we going to focus? Where you put your focus on? Because what you put your focus on grows, right? Yeah. So where exactly do we put our focus on this whole whirlwind of EXP, recruiting, and everything that goes with it? And the first thing I'll say to you is this. It's your personal brand that's really selling. So I get it. Like, we got to target communities, but the personal brand is what really sells people. It really buys into you. I mean, how many times have you been sold, we bought it because of you, or because I trusted you. I had a gut feeling that you were the right person. So at the end of the day, is if you're adding value, and even more so, if you're putting yourself out there on social media and making it known you're a trusted realtor, guess who other realtors are going to look to when they go for advice? It almost goes hand in hand when it comes down to recruiting, because at the same time, you're helping agents, you're helping more clients, you're helping the community, you're putting yourself out there, you're showing you're ahead of the curve. Agents are going to naturally start to attract you because you're that guy going out there and doing it. If they have a question about video, if they have a question about social media, who are they going to go to? The guy who's crushing it. So I think they go hand in hand. But what you were saying is, how do you create each individual video for each person? And that's where defining your audience before you shoot the video is so crucial. And that's why even now I got my notes here on the side of me, so I stay on track. Because I'll tell you what, if I don't have my notes, I'm gonna end up in left field. Well, that's right field. So fast, I'm not gonna be able to stay on track. And even if I didn't have the systems I had in place, and I ran into a lot of these pitfalls, even if I knew a system like the back of my hand, and I go to shoot a live video or I go to shoot a video, I'm gonna freeze because I'm like, ah, crap, I forgot what I was going with this. I didn't know what I was doing. And then I'm trying to remember a million things at once. So that's why having the system, knowing who I'm speaking to, okay, here are my outlines for the video. Okay, let's shoot this video. I can knock it out of the park that way. So yeah, so to answer your question, yes, knowing your community is great, and you're gonna target different communities in different videos. It just comes back to, in one video, who are you speaking to? At the end of the day, if you're a trusted advisor in real estate, that's what we all wanna be, right?
Right.
If we're a trusted advisor in real estate, whether we're speaking to agents, whether we're speaking to the community, and we're adding value, that's what people are gonna tune into. And half the time, I'll tell you what, I have people tune into my stuff that aren't realtors whatsoever, but they just enjoy it because we have fun with it. We have different videos, we're adding value. And no matter what, it can be applied to them in different ways as well.
Sure. Absolutely, man. No, I appreciate you taking the time to kind of break that down, because that's on a lot of folks' minds. And I think they overcomplicate it, right? They make it more difficult than what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, what it comes down to is it's what personal brand are you building? And that's one thing that we really specialize in, is your brand is what sells people, whether it's recruiting or whether it's getting more clients. You're out there, you're adding value to the community. That's what people know. That's what people recognize. And especially so when you're authentic in your videos, man, it does wonders. Yeah, right? Buddy. So like I said, what I want to get into now is how we really create 30 days of content in one singular day. So when we were getting into it, we were talking about the community champ. So the community champ, this is where the content really comes into play. Community champ, they use generic content. It's a lot of times it's not their content. It's somebody else's post. It's in a different marketplace, or it's just a meme that they're doing. Again, I'm not saying to not do these things, but if you're constantly using not your stuff, not your posts, people are going to catch on to it. It's not going to interest them. So what the community champ does, they go out there and they get active within their community. One of the biggest things that I realized too, I look up the top 10 most interesting places in my community. I go and shoot my content there. Why? People already said, I'm interested in this place. So whether they're watching the video for me or they're watching it for the background, they're tuning in just to see what's going on. So like I said, we pick one day out of the month. It's usually the beginning of the month, and we figure out this is the day we're gonna go and shoot all of our content. So the first step of figuring out what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna share this with anybody who wants to share. Oh, go ahead.
No, perfect. Let's run with that.
Yep. So here's what I'm gonna do. After this, just type in me too underneath. I'm gonna send you everything that we have here, and we're gonna get everything up and rolling. So the first step of what we do is we're figuring out where we're gonna shoot it, what props do we need, and I need to figure out everything that I bring. Because I'll tell you what, the worst thing I've experienced was driving a half hour, 45 minutes to go shoot my video and get everything done and forgetting something. Whether it's the mic, whether it's the props that we need, or a shirt or something that we want to wear, the worst thing that we do is driving somewhere and forgetting something. Because I was like, okay, now we have to either think of a new video idea or just kind of drive back and go redo it all together. So this is what we came up with. And again, this came from a lot of the mistakes that we made. This is as simple as our production schedule. So what this does, it also sends an email to us right after, which I'll show you guys. Let's see, Nick Krem, there we go. Let's send it to, not that one. All right, make sure I spell that right. So what we're doing here is I'm gonna show you exactly what we do to go ahead. Yeah, we can just do this. Good enough. All right, so location of the video. So like I said, what do we usually do? We usually say, what are the top 10 places that we're interested in going and shooting content? Let's say the Flats, which if you came to Cleveland for the Rock and Rescue concert, the Flats in Cleveland. Description of the videos. Content advisor, videos on the water. Let's pick the date. Yeah, that's good enough. So the certain time we're gonna go shoot our videos. We're gonna shoot them right in the middle of the day. Let's go 1 o'clock. And that was the fun part. Who's involved? So a lot of times when you're shooting videos, you might have some different people involved. You might have other people that you want to get these emails. Michael's usually there. Let's go with Albie's going to be here this time. So the equipment and props, this is where you put everything that you need in order to go out there and start shooting the video. 2 different community champ shirts. Microphone. Video camera. Tripod. And this time we are going to need a baseball bat for fun. So after all this is done, all I do is hit submit. What it does in turn, to wait here for 1 second, what it's going to do is boom, I got my, see I get 2 because I'm one of the main people. All it does is send me this production schedule. And what I do is I send this to everybody who's involved in the production. So what it tells them is what they need to bring, what we're going to be shooting, who's going to be there, and then what exactly do we need to bring, right? So what I do before I leave every single time, I just go check this piece of paper, be like, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this. Let's go shoot a video. So this is the first part of figuring out what am I going to do to shoot in my 1 day of content. So now we got this all created, right? The next step is figuring out, okay, so now that we know where we're going, what kind of videos are we going to shoot? And this is what we were just talking about before, defining the community, figuring out who are we shooting this video for, and figuring all that out. So right here, Nick Krem, we come into the email, .com. So John, let's have some fun with this. How about you fill this out this time? So what we want to do is figure out who is our target audience, right?
Yep.
So okay, let's say you're a realtor and you want to attract new sellers. So let's say, what is the age range of the sellers that you want to attract?
I would say let's go. We're looking for somebody that's going to be kind of a higher price point, possibly. I don't know. Let's go mid, 30 to 60. 35, 60.
35 to 60. All right. Like, are they male or female?
Man, that's a good question. Let's hit male.
Male. All right. Are they married?
Yes.
Married with kids?
Yep.
With kids. All right. What's like the income? What's the income that you want to kind of hit?
I definitely, let's say we're looking, we want to push, I don't know, 75K plus.
75K plus. And then what's their employment status? Where are they working at? Or like what kind of job do they have?
Yeah, I would say that they are, we want to mess with, they've got, easy on the financing side of things, right? So definitely they're a, full-time employee.
Someone in business, full-time employee.
Yep.
All right. So now that we know they're 36 years old, they're male, they have kids, they're making around 75K and they're business and full-time. What are some of their goals that they need for their home selling process?
Some of the goals for their home, they need to net.
Downsizing.
Yeah, I'd say we're looking for people that are move up. They're looking to move up, upsize. Right. Yeah, they're moving up. So they need help selling their home and buying their next one. That's what we're looking to have multiple transactions in the process.
Right. Multiple transactions. So chances are they're upsizing, they're helping, they're signing. Do they have any more kids at this point? Is that why they're upsizing?
Sure. Yeah. That, increase in, pay, they want just a little bit bigger place, looking to get out there in the Bay Village area, they're looking to upsize.
So what are some of the things that they value when they're looking at a real estate agent or they value in business?
They definitely want, they're looking for somebody that's honest, that has a good track record, that, track record with results. Good, there's definitely some good ratings, testimonials on them.
Right. All right. So now we have a good idea who we're talking about. I always like doing this more so for fun. Let's name him. So John, he's looking for some good ideals. He's in business, making 75K. What do you want to name your person?
Looking for Al Stasik.
Al Stasik. That's the person to look for. So now we're looking for, we always call it like Operation Find Al, right?
Right.
This is how we shoot every single one of our videos. It makes it easy. It keeps us on track and in a good format. So what we do is we call it a problem solution format. So like in each one of our videos, like we said, we defined our community. Who are we speaking to? We're looking for someone who's trying to buy a home, they're upsizing, they just have more kids. What are some of the problems that they're going to face when they get into the real estate, when they get into looking for real estate?
Just looking for the ideal property that matches not only, what they need, but also what they want. Right.
Yep. And what are some of those needs and wants they're going to have?
I think at this point we're talking about upsize, thinking through there, like in the Al Stasic situation, they need an extra garage, definitely, a bigger, more bedrooms.
Yeah. And if we're talking about Al Stasic here, more room for activities.
Yep.
All right. So then what kind of solutions do you offer for people who are looking for a bigger house and they need to find all their different amenities and everything that they offer?
I think, definitely finding somebody that is going to, I guess for me, Nick, it's always coming back down to, finding somebody that's really going to listen to what I want and not push my agenda or push properties that don't match exactly what we're looking for. Right. And I think too, another problem, that we're trying to find here is, the ideal, if they've got kiddos, right, schools are usually the most critical piece in that when they're making a move. So I would, solution oriented, be able to have the expert knowledge to, one, they're a great listener and a great, solution oriented, focused on the outcome, right. But they're also, understanding and matching what's important to us. And at this point, this type of individual, I mean, that's what they're looking for, man. They're looking for, get out of a situation maybe they're in that's a better situation for their kiddos, better school districts.
Right. So this is what we do every single time. So you just look it out for me. I'm going to show you exactly how we do each one of these videos. So what we do is like, hey guys, my name is Nick Krem, and as you know, I'm a real estate agent in the area. And if you have any questions after this video, just go ahead and click the link and schedule a free clarity call. So something I've seen in this industry that keeps happening is just you need to find the ideal property that has all the amenities that you need. Maybe you're looking for that extra garage because you have more cars and you need to take care of that. You need more bedrooms, you have more kids, you have all these different things going on. And now that you have kids, you have to find the exact school district that they are looking for. So like I said, I've helped a lot of people just like you because of my expert knowledge of the area. I know all the different school districts that have been here. I've lived in this county for about 25 years. I know everything about it, and beyond that, we have the home search and everything that you need to make sure we find only the properties that fit exactly what you're looking for. So like I said, if this sounds like you, go ahead and click the link below, schedule a free clarity call with me, and I look forward to talking to you. Simple as that. So all it is, 1 minute video.
Great job. That was textbook. That was awesome.
So all you got to do, guys, it's a simple problem solution framework. All you got to do is figure out what are the problems that your community is facing, come up with a solution. We fill out 3 of these each time, 3 to 4 of one of these each and every time. We go out there, we shoot our videos, and then that's the simplest way that we found to shoot videos in a simple to read format, and then we email this to ourselves. And then you know what? We take it a step further. So you can fill out a couple of these before each one. You go ahead and hit submit, and then we're going to wait here a second for it to pop up. So once you hit submit, if I fill my information out right, here it is. I got it on my phone first. So once you hit submit, you get the same form that you got before. And then the next question is, okay, like you're saying, when we post it, what should we be doing to post it? I'm in my wrong email. That's why. No, so I'm going to show you what we do every single time for the description, because, half the battle sometimes is figuring out what am I going to write for the description for each video, right? Because you need that attention grabber for each one of these. So what we do for each and every single one of our videos is take the exact problems that we have right here, and that is going to be our description. Because why? We want people to tune in. We want Al to tune into this video. So all we do is we copy the problems. Like, hey, if you're looking for an ideal property that has all the amenities that you need an extra garage, more bedrooms, and you want to get in the school district, watch this video to figure out how you can find that. So all we do is take the problems, put it in the description, and boom, you have that instant ready to go video each and every time. So here's what we do, like we were talking about before. So when we're out there, we call it community champion, and we're filling our vault of content. We're shooting videos in that exact place that we were just talking about, right? So we're shooting the videos in the place in the flats. As we're shooting the videos, we're taking pictures in the meantime too. So as we're walking to different places, you're taking pictures of you in the community, which you can later use for quotes, you can use for just shooting content, or you can just use to show you're in the community and that you're active. So again, this is where building your personal brand, them associating with you, the community, goes a long way. So we're out there and we're shooting videos. The next step is, how do we edit these videos to make it look professional, right? So a lot of times too, we have these edits that we come into place. What I want to show you guys is exactly how we come up with the templates that you need so that you can just put your video into one of these templates and have it ready to go and ready to post. Again, we want to get this done in one day. We don't want to sit there and just try and come up with this whole creative process and take a couple days editing one video, because you know why? We've been there. We'll shoot a video. It'll take me a day to record it because I don't have the format. I don't know exactly what I'm going to say. And then it'll take me another couple days just to come up with the creative process just to edit it. So what we did is we came up with a system of, this is what we need to shoot the video. Here's the production and everything that we do. And then here are the templates that we use to create each one of these videos. So you're going to see a finished product, but we're just going to start from the beginning. So all we do is do a new project. And again, this can be done on any video editing tool. We use Camtasia personally, but there's different ones out there like Adobe that follow the same basic concepts that we're going to go through. So once we go into here, what we always do is we make sure every project is fit for Instagram, because there's a lot of different places to post it. But if you fit it for Facebook, it won't be fit for Instagram, right? Because Instagram, they have their square format, and then your videos, you're going to have a tough time trying to actually make it format for Instagram. So here we go. Let's get into it. Instagram is all 1080 by 1080. And the formats that we use, it's actually a lot simpler than you think. The first step is just creating a box right at the top that you can put text into. So what you do is you move this over to the very top of your screen, and you make it about yay big for your videos, right? And then a special treat after this, I'm going to share all of these templates with you once we've completed them. All we do is make this the main headline. So we were just talking about Al Stasic looking for the rights amenities. I butchered that, didn't I? They can't even find it. Looking for the right features for your home. There we go. That's a lot easier. All you got to do is type in your main headline here at the top. So a lot of times I get asked this question too, is how do you get the loading bar in each one of your videos? And again, I thought it was a lot more complicated than it really was. All you got to do is get another box on your screen. You take this box and you make it the length of the video. And what we're going to do for fun here is we're going to make it a different color. Show properties. All we're going to do is make this box red, just like every other one that you see. So we're going to make this red, and all you got to do is add a special effect. Slide to the right for the length of the video. So it's as simple as when you click play, the video loads left to right. So as simple as it is, this is the format that we use for all of our video. And all you got to do is take the video that you recorded. I believe I have one preset for here. All we do is take the video that we have, put it in here. And this is exactly how we create every single one of our videos. Boom. And now it looks like all those Gary Vee videos that you see with the top part, all the loading bars, and it looks like, man, I don't know, I'm going to have to hire someone to do this or figure out how to do it. This is how simple it is. You have your video here at the top. You add subtitles, which, by the way, Zubtitle, that's with the Z.com, is where I get all my subtitles from. You have subtitles here at the bottom.
Just want branding tips, go to nickkrem.com and click on that free 5-day branding class. So real estate.
And then this is all you got to do. And then from here, this is where once you have the template, you could just switch colors. You can have fun with the different color schemes. You can add different font colors. And then all you got to do is once you have the template, this is where you can just come in here, take your videos, plug them right into the template, add subtitles. So now the next step would be, what do I do once I have all these videos created, right? So we have videos created. We have pictures that we took downtown. I added some quotes to them. And again, this is all done in an afternoon once you have the template. So what you got to do is what we do is just call it adding it to the vault. All I do is put all my social media content in one specific place. Oh, that's my computer. Sorry about that. So, all right, looks like I'm exiting out of Facebook. All I do is put all my social media content that I just curated all in one place. This is all the stuff I haven't used yet that's still ready to go for the rest of the month. All these different videos, you can see it's all the same template, just using a different font, a different color, and just making it look more fun in each and every one of these. So this is how we create 30 days of content in one single day. We go downtown with 3 different video formats. Boom, we knock out the videos. In between the videos, we take different pictures, come back, throw it in the template, and we just put it in the vault. Whenever we want to use it, you can see these are all in different places because these are still, some of these are from a couple months ago. I just didn't get around to using it by the next time we went out and community champed. So what we do is we just put everything here in a vault. You have all this different content used through just creating these simple templates. So what we did is we came up with a specific system and process to making sure we get all of our personal branding content all within that one day. Just so you guys can see a couple different examples. Again, same template. We just have the loading bar.
So a lot of times people don't know what to shoot, what content they should post out there, what is going to get people involved. What's up, guys? Nick Krem here.
Different content, and it's all within the same template.
That's what's going to hold them back from shooting those videos. Quick fun fact, there are over 5 billion videos watched on YouTube.
It's easier than you think. It's a lot easier than I originally thought. And once you have the specific template, you can go out there and start creating videos that your public's going to want to watch.
That's awesome. And then after you use it, do you move it into an archive folder, or do you get rid of it, or what do you do?
So after I use it, that's a great question. So what I do is I have these ones that I haven't used. I just have everything else in here. So I have content for our business. I have content for our personal brand. And then you just move everything that you've used into one big folder, just so you can have as a vault that you can use later.
Yep.
So this is what gets us, and this is where we got the idea. I'll stop sharing for a second. We got this idea from you guys. So when we were doing some of the content for Jay, Albie, and like a lot of these guys, you guys have a huge vault. And that's where we got the idea for a vault, because we're like, man, they got content from 2012. They have content going way back. And all that does is it allows you to pull back content that's still market relevant. So what we're doing now too, and this is where we get into the residual content. So I think everybody here is familiar with residual income, right? You get it over and over and over. Residual content is the same thing. So anything that you can use over and over, reuse in a bunch of different ways, is residual content. So when you're going out there and you shoot a video talking about what agent or what buyers are looking for in your specific area, you take that content and number one, you're going to post it on Facebook. You're going to post that video there. You're going to post it on Instagram. But then what a lot of people tend to forget is making an email blast to your whole nurture base. Your whole nurture base is people that already said, hey, I'm interested in buying. What better way than shooting them videos, talking about the buying process, what's happening in the market right now. So when you reshoot these videos, you're going to be able to use it in a lot of different ways to help you grow your business. So this also gets down to different ways that you can really incorporate video. And one of the biggest ways, and we're going to come back to the sheet that I'm going to share with you guys.
So Nick, while you're pulling that up, thinking through, you mentioned formatting for Instagram and just doing it one time, and then that fits all the other platforms, right? So it doesn't matter. It'll go good to to Facebook, and same over to LinkedIn. no matter what, that same format fits everywhere.
Correct. So Instagram's the one that really has the features kind of dialed in, where if you make it too big, you're going to have to shrink it and you're going to have a bunch of white space, or it's just going to be too far expanded. So I always fit everything for Instagram, because from there it fits on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. It fits in anywhere else that you're going to want to use it.
Perfect.
Those specs, it's just 1080 by 1080.
Perfect.
So like we were saying, so there's different ways to incorporate video as well. And one of the biggest ones, like I said, I was working at the call center. So we were always trying to figure out ways, how can we get more appointments to show? How can we get our clients in more doors? And the one thing that we realized, again, the agents who already were, the people knew who they were, whether it was a billboard, whether it was a commercial, or whether it was just social media, they were able to get in so many more doors because they already know, liked, and trusted them. So what we started to do, or what we started to test out with some of our clients, was sending out these video texts every time they set a nurture or an appointment. So this is where we're going to have this in the sheet for you guys too. A lot of these were created if you had an ISA, but this is a video text you create one time that you're able to blast out every single time that you get a nurture. So it would just be like, hey, my name is Nick Krem and I'm with eXp Realty. And a few moments ago, we talked about your home selling goals. If you have any more questions after this video, just go ahead and call me at this number, or you can find my link right underneath there. I wanted to thank you for your time and take a brief moment and then we could kind of go through it here.
Sure.
You can kind of see exactly what the script looks like. And all you're doing is you're putting a face to the name. And beyond that, you're differentiating yourself from damn near anybody else that tried to call them. Why? Because you're showing them you care. You're sending the video. They're going to start to feel like they know you at this point. And then what happens after that? A couple days later, a couple weeks later, they get a video that you just shot that you're blasting out to your database. And then they're getting a couple more videos that you have pre-made into your nurture campaign. So when you're using video and you're utilizing it in a sense, now they're going to start to feel like they know you before they just let some stranger come over to their house. So these are some of the ways, and we came up with exact scripts for seller nurture, expired appointment set. So now that before you even go over there, they're going to feel like they know and like you. Another great way, and a great way to get content that you can use over and over again, is when you just sell a home. Client testimonial videos are huge. If you can capture that emotion that somebody has, because that's one thing that written testimonials don't do. They don't capture that emotion. You're reading it, and whatever mood I'm in is how I'm reading that testimonial.
That's right.
But with videos, there's no misconstruing what exactly is the content or what exactly is the emotion behind each one. So again, it follows the same exact format. All you got to do is sit down and ask them these simple questions. Maybe pick one or two or three of them each time, but you're going to get the one that I always recommend to ask is, would you recommend me to a family member or a friend? These are great questions. What is one thing that stood out that I did differently? Getting these answers on video, again, you can use it on Facebook. You can use it on Instagram. You could plug it into the template that we just created. And then you can use it on all these different platforms, including nurturing your database. Because to me, there's nothing more valuable than a third-party reference. This person has no reason to say how great I am, yet here they are on video telling everybody how great I am, that they tell their whole family to use me. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use this video content to really nurture your database, build your personal brand, and ultimately, like you said, grow your business.
That's it, man. I love it. That's so huge. Everybody knows that they need to be capturing those testimonials, but what's a good format, a good way? And that's, even that question there, right, man? That's the ultimate question. And being able to ask that, because, at the end of the day, right, we can talk, logic all we want and all the facts.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, people make decisions on the way they feel. Mm-hmm. And so there's no better way than video. The written word is not. It's like you nailed it, man. It's going to be the way that I'm feeling at the moment that I'm going to read that written language. But, how we bring that energy, and that's how people are going to connect to make feel. So that's really powerful. Hey, I want to get, just give everybody kind of a checklist. We had a question come in that, what camera, tripod, lights, etc., package do you use to shoot actual video?
Yeah, so when it comes down to the camera, people are surprised when I say this. Right now, I got my Logitech. I think it was like $40, and it's 1080p that I went in Best Buy and got. Tripod, I can give you guys an actual list. I'll go on Amazon and come up with a list of the exact products that I bought. But I'll tell you, at the end of the day, the tripod needs to stand up. You know what I mean? It needs to be high enough for you to get. The lights, we just got one of these. I'll show you guys right here. One of these circular lights to go ahead and shoot all of our videos. When we move and we go to different areas, we just get one of those little circle lights. You can buy those at Best Buy or anywhere, just in case you want to get some extra lighting. But all we use, we call it like the mobile video studio. Because sometimes I have somebody with me, sometimes I don't. So what I get is a tripod that I can set up, however far away that you can get it. There's a tripod that you can set up that goes yay high. Sometimes I have a light, sometimes I don't. I have a microphone, a lapel mic that you can just attach right to your phone. Those cost about 15 to 20 bucks, depending about how much you want to spend. And beyond that, I shoot everything from my phone. A lot of people don't believe me, but I shoot every single video I have from my phone. We have some pretty high-tech cameras. Maybe back when we had flip phones, you'd have to go out and camera, right?
Yeah, buddy.
You can really tell the difference. So this is what I'll say too. Back in the flip phone days, the thing that sets you apart being high production and knowing what you're doing is the camera. Nowadays, the biggest thing that will set you apart is, number one, actually doing it. And number two is authenticity. Do you actually believe what you're saying? Does it sound scripted? This is why I never recommend to sit there and read from a script. Yeah, I have my outlines and my bullet points, but you can't sound scripted. And I'll tell you what, even a step further, include some of your mess ups. Don't make it absolutely perfect, because nobody's absolutely perfect.
Right.
They'll be thinking in their head like, man, I can't trust this guy.
Yeah.
I even went a step further at one point and I put out all my bloopers. And what did that do? It made me real. It made me human. And people connect to that kind of thing.
Yeah, they do, man. It's so powerful. It's so funny. You know, over the years, we've had such high produced content and videos. I mean, you guys can jump into the archive and see some of the quality, but some of the best videos that we've ever made is just like off the cuff, walking with the cell phone, just talking. It's like, it's amazing, man, because people can connect with that. They can relate. They're like, oh, that dude's a screw up just like I am.
Yeah. So, and beyond that too. So a lot of times, so we're sitting here, we're talking about this content that you're going out and shooting. So like, how is that 30 days worth of content? One, you can get a lot of pictures and you shoot 4 or 5 videos. You need about 1 a week, but then in between there, what do? This is where the live videos come into play. This is where we get a lot of our mess ups, but we have fun doing it too.
Yeah.
Right? And the best part, like you were saying, the best live videos are spur of the moment, in that when you have that emotion still brewing. You just got out of that appointment and you just felt like, man, we just went through this big, long process, but we figured it out. That's when you go live and you talk about that real life problem and solution that you just had. So a lot of times, I'll tell you what, the best content is the natural one that's authentic. Especially as realtors, I'm sure everybody here knows what the day-to-day looks like and how crazy it can be. Guess who doesn't know that? Everybody else out there. And they need to know that. And that's where the authenticity and the content really comes into play.
Yeah, absolutely. Got another question coming in from Don, was asking, you know, how do you add follow-up video to the email?
That's a great question, and it depends what one you're using. I know KV Core, a way that some people do it is they just add a picture of the video and then they have a link to click through it. So I know I was talking to, I think it was Jake Underwood, I want to say. He connected their BombBomb to KV Core, and then they can send out videos that way. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can include a link that goes right to it, because a lot of times these are people in your subscription base who said, yes, I want to get emails, right? I'm not saying that we blast this out to all the expires that you have in your system, but for people who've already said yes, chances are that email is going to go through with the link and they have a higher probability of actually clicking on it. So either whether you house it on YouTube or you house it on Facebook, those are just different ways you can send someone a link for them to go ahead and watch the video.
Recommend getting everything over to YouTube if you can.
So I would definitely recommend it if you can. For us, that's more of we just house everything there. Where if you want to go and just view all content you're going to go to YouTube. If you want to stay up to date with my latest videos, it's Facebook or Instagram. Right. So a lot of times too, like all of our content's housed on YouTube that I've ever shot is on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, 100%. That was, I think, what that was the realization over the last 18, 24 months for us, was that we were getting more traction off of YouTube than anything else. So definitely, if you can, I would say recommend get it over there as well. I got a question. Gary's been jumping up and down about TikTok, and it's been little kids and stuff like that with video, but have you looked at it or messed with it any?
Man, so we started messing with it a little bit, and it's pretty fun. And I'll tell you what, you are seeing the new generation come up and start to utilize it more. But my main question is, and this comes back to, where should I post at? Where am I going to do all my posting? Where is your target audience at? For me, target audience, realtors aren't really big and hip into TikTok. So if I went on there and I have this big following, chances are it's not going to be the right audience for me. And even more so, if I had a huge following there, that's where I would be posting a lot of my stuff. So it comes down to this. Where is your following at? Where does your target audience live, right? So a lot of times when you're going 35 to 60, I would say the biggest place they're probably going to be is Facebook. A lot of them are going to be on Instagram as well, but that's probably going to be the biggest place for them, right? So it just comes down to, where does your target audience live? And that's where you should be hitting the most.
I love it. That's awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that and giving some clarity to everybody listening in, because it really is important, because that's the question. Is like, shit, where should I put all my stuff? And it's like, where's the audience? Where's the eyeballs, right?
Yeah, where do you have the biggest audience? And even more so, where do you gain that bigger audience?
Right.
So speaking of that, and something I want to touch on quick is a question I'm sure you get a lot too, is how do I gain a larger audience, or how do I gain the right people? So some quick ways that I was able to do that, and some kind of workarounds, was number one is leveraging other people who already have a big audience. Target someone, whether it's in your community, or for me, like with realtors, what I did was I interviewed a lot of high-end influencers in the real estate industry. Why? Because it goes on their timeline. I start to pick up some of the people who are following them, and it's kind of, you're getting into their circle and you're gaining their audience. So for realtors, think of local business owners. Think of anybody locally who has an audience, kind of like a lookalike audience, that you want to start diving into. So start trying to shoot some content with them. Maybe do an interview for a local business owner who has a large following. That way, you're going to start gaining some of their following.
Absolutely. Do you recommend getting out, like you said, being the community champ and actually getting out into the community and connecting with the local business owners and really establishing you as that go-to authority?
Yes, 100%. Because a lot of time, like when you make it more than just about real estate and you make it about the community, that's what people buy into. Especially when you want to make it, again, when you want people to tune in, you want to keep it interesting, you want to do new things. And when it comes down to it, it's the law of reciprocity. If I'm going to go out and shoot a video to promote your business, to try and get you more business, and that's how you approach the situation, chances are if somebody's looking for a realtor, they're going to start recommending you business. It's a great way to start tapping into some new sphere of influences. And you get out there, you start shooting enough about the community, local business owners, and you're trying to lift people up. People want to work with other people like that. I think that's something that everybody has in their head, or we see it all the time. Promote local business, help local business. Who's actually out there doing that though, right? Who actually says, I can go to Costco and buy it for this much, but I'm going to go to a local business and make sure I promote them. I got a Costco membership. I'll tell you what. But what I also try to do is promote local people and try to promote their business. And that's a great way, again, it's a community champ, to really get involved in ways that's a lot more than just real estate.
Yeah, no, I love that. And what's your take? So like, what's the average video length, short versus something long piece of content like what we're doing right here?
So that is a great question. And that's something that we've dabbled with as well. When you want quick hitter converting videos, that's why we do like 1.5 minutes to like 2 minutes as really like the sweet spot that we found for the attention span that people are going to tune in on a daily. But we also do long videos like this. I'm actually going to be rolling out a brand new segment tomorrow, which I'm very excited for. So I'll let everybody know right now. I'm getting Sekou on. We're going to call it the Honey Badger Hour. So we're going to start highlighting a lot of the different honey badgers, kind of like what you're doing here. But what we want to do is it's really at 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. And what we do with those longer videos too, and this is straight out of the Digital President, what we do with those longer videos as well, they're about 40 minutes. We break them up into minute chunks so people can digest them a little bit more. And then what we're going to do is, and then all we do is put it into one of those formats and templates that you just saw and put them in those minute templates. So now we can post it on Instagram, drive people to whatever link we want to do. And we can really take that 40-minute piece of content and make it into about 20 different other pieces.
I just had a thought, breaking those down. And I know that we've had some of the greatest traction by making those little bite-sized chunk videos. Yeah. But I think, the continuation of this conversation, which would be what's the sales process from here, right? We're talking about just creating content and then with the call to action. And I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. but creating the content so you can use it throughout that funnel, throughout that sales process. One thing that I did want to, from a long version, and this was Holly's big takeaway when she had John Lee Dumas on her podcast, and Dumas shared that the average person listens to 7 podcasts. So you want, and I always say is you go Lil Wayne, right? You get on everybody's track, you get on everybody's show, you get on everybody's stage, because if it is an average of 7 to 9, then it's not like you're going to take away their audience, but you're going to pick a few people from their audience that's going to start picking for you. And so I think it goes back to what you said, to make it easier to build the audience is to get on as much stuff as you possibly can, get on as many tracks as you can, get on everything, because that is going to help build the audience a lot faster than you trying to do it, just videos and one-off and cold traffic. And so it's just a lot easier.
And on that note too, the one thing to keep in mind too is it's all about consistency. You don't see results tomorrow when you're building your personal brand. You don't see results when you're building content. When we say content, we're not talking about ads and running sales campaigns. What we're talking about is building a personal brand that's going to be lucrative down the road. So when you're building your personal brand, it takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes all these little things that we talked about as well. Going on different people's podcasts and just growing your audience that way. Yeah, it's a process. Doesn't happen overnight, but I'll be the first to say that it's definitely, it's well worth it.
Yeah, I always like to look at it, I tend, from an operational standpoint, I always lean, to the financial side. So it's like when I look at sales as, the P&L, right?
Right.
And then I look at, okay, let's build the brand. That's building an asset, right? That's building the balance sheet. That's building equity, and that takes time.
Yeah.
And, this not being an instant gratification business. And obviously, with the way with social media, right? Hey, we're looking for the likes. We're looking for the likes. Yeah. This isn't about it, right?
No, this is about walking into a house that you've never met the person and they're shaking your hand and greeting you and they're acting like you're your best friend. I'll tell you what, the time I really notice it is when, so I put on an event here in Cleveland to talk about video. I was surprised. It took us 3 days and we filled the room, we just did it in a model home, which turned out really well because we didn't have to pay for it. But that was our first event we put on. We filled the room with 45 people in the room. I probably met 3 people, but everybody came up to me like they were my best friend. I'm like, this is so powerful.
Uh-huh.
The worst part was I didn't know everybody's name. So I'm sitting there like, great to meet you too. But that's when it really, really dawned on me, when I had a room full of people that I didn't know that came up to me and were talking to me like they're my best friend.
Yep.
I'm like, this is so, so powerful.
Yeah.
When you're on the phone and you start talking to more people, they're like, oh yeah, I saw you on blank and blank. Right off the bat, it's that much easier than a cold call.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love it. I experienced it when I got to, come to Cleveland to see you guys earlier this year. And it was just like, it felt like family, right? And then the same thing with, last week in Vegas with the Honey Badgers, it just feels like family, right? When you're able to stay consistent, putting out great content, you're able to connect on a lot quicker level. Don's asking, great question. I have my answer, but it's, what do you recommend, a video for the Shake the Tree to past clients, or even to the database, maybe, what would you say to that?
So I think those are almost 2 different ones, like past clients and then also Shake the Trees. Actually, no, at the same time, I would say a market update for right now. So just telling people what the market's at. And then what I like to do too, or is what I recommended with people, was getting a mortgage lender on there too. So you can coincide with like the interest rates, what's going on right now. Just letting people know we can't foresee the future, but right now homes are hot. Whether you want to make it for buyers or sellers, you can talk about the different market and what's going on right now and why it's the right time to buy or sell. So sending a video just kind of explaining what's going on in the market. And one thing I'd like to add too is realizing that everybody's not a realtor. So certain terms or terminology that we might take for granted that's an everyday thing isn't everyday for everyone else. So the simpler you can make things seem and simpler you can make it seem to work with you, that's how much more the video can really hit home. But I would do a market update. That would be a way that I kind of update the database.
Yeah. Great point. I mean, I always, Should I shoot a video? My default is always yes. Yeah, I want to say happy birthday to somebody. Should I text it or should I send a video? Send a video, right? Yeah. It should always be the default because it's like you said early on, it's that, you know, it's all about that personal connection, right? You're gonna interpret the written language the way you feel it at the moment versus the energy that's portrayed that's coming through in the video.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll tell you what, video texting, just everyday responses to people. If you have a quick second, it goes such a long way. It really does, especially when you can personalize it to that person. I know that's something that we worked with and I've done. And again, the biggest way I realized that one is somebody video texted me. And I was sitting there, I'm like, man, this person made it just for me. And I was like, boom, that's powerful.
Yeah, it really is powerful. And you'll remember it, right?
And that's a differentiating factor. That's 101.
Yeah. I love it. So we're coming up on the top of the hour. I definitely, a treasure trove. This is definitely, like I said, going to be an instant classic. Is there anything here in the last couple minutes as we wrap up this episode of Expert Mentors Live that you would just really like want to, you know, hey, if you could take anything away, this is it.
Yeah, I would say people used to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for this one thing, and it's mind share. A good buddy of mine once told me, once you own the mind share, you own the market share. Because when they think of you first as a realtor, that's when you win. People used to pay literally thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars for billboards, for TV ads. And now we have the ability to do it here, and you're not taking advantage of it for free. Remember, once you own that mind share, you own the market share. So all it takes is a little bit of consistency and a little bit of know-how. And I hope we just helped you out with a little bit of know-how here.
I think you did. Absolutely. So I know we got a lot of people that are hitting the comments with me too. So definitely take care of them there. Yep. Best way to connect with you, Nick?
Just go to nickkrem.com. Go to www.nickkrem.com. Schedule a call with me. There's a couple more free gifts on there. Take as much as you want, guys.
Hey, when you guys head over there too, you're probably going to like that page that you jump to with Nick Krem. Any more information there that if they want, say, man, I'll make me one of those, right?
Yeah, so what I would say is just get in my calendar. We'll be able to talk about it. But what we do is we put all of your links centralized in one centralized place that's mobile friendly, social. You share it on anything. So we use it all as our digital business cards. So if you guys want to figure out how you can get a page just like mine, schedule a call with me, and then we'll figure everything out for you.
That's it, man. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, brother. Tons of value as always. I appreciate you being a true expert mentor. Hey, for all of you guys listening in, make sure you guys give Nick some love and also share kind of your biggest takeaways. It's really, really powerful for all of these expert mentors that are taking time out of their busy schedules to just, you know, keep adding value back to the Honey Badger Nation. Nick, thank you, brother. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Appreciate you too, John.